Thank you.
All right, this is Epic Sketch Time 2006, number 3. My name is James Stowe, and for the next hour or so, we are going to be sketching epically whatever we want for cats. With me is
Mark Monlux of Monlux Illustration, home of the creative mind.
nice.
Trademark.
And we also have Pat McEwen, who is not talking.
Sorry, I'm drawing an alien, a xenomorph, if you will.
You really are. That is awesome.
And I'm hoping to finish it tonight, so that would be good.
What is that for?
This is funny you should ask, Jim. Let me tell you about it. So I randomly, kind of imitating your retweet reward giveaway, I asked my Twitter family, if you will, to, let me see if I can pull up this file here. So I did a black and white mini print for a comic that just came out. And I tweeted, if anyone could name the fish that is mounted up on the wall here. He's wearing a pair of glasses. And
is that the Don Knotts character?
Yes, it's Mr. Limpet.
Yeah.
So to those people, I said, hey, let me give you a kind of digital sketch reward. So the one person that won is a young lady who does a webcomic called XP webcomic, as in experience points. And I believe you can find it on xpwebcomic.com. And it's rather a funny and interesting webcomic. And I said, what do you want to see? And she said, something involving aliens. So I'm actually doing a kind of fan art of her comic and then involving a xenomorph in it.
That's cool.
I have a little show and tell. I'm going to put it up on the big screen. Okay, so my client sent me this photograph, and he asked me to make the guy look like he's colder. So I did this. Apparently he just wanted to have his nose and his cheeks a little bit more red. All that did was make him look like he had the measles. And to me the hat looked... I was actually trying to find a different hat, but when the angle on this hat was just too good to pass up. But that's my Photoshop skill set right there.
I would, if I was your art director, I would make you change it.
What?
It's too warm. It needs to have more blues in it.
Ah. Well, we both, me and my client both agreed that he was just being overly fussy about the photo. And
oh, so you went back to the original?
Oh yeah, he's just using the original because, come on, that's a pretty good photo. Compared to the type of photos that he normally gets, this is a pretty good photo. Oh. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you because I enjoy just putting a funny hat on the guy. I mean, I didn't have any expectations of actually finding the right hat to put on him, but I found this hat like within 5 seconds. And so it was just the right angle, and it had a perfect white out. It was just like out of a catalog shot. So my project tonight.
You often do Uh,
Photo
photo
manipulation?
manipulation work?
Oh yeah, I do it all the time.
Huh. I would not have guessed that.
Yeah, I do storyboards for them, and sometimes when the storyboards aren't just right, I go in and tweak them. Like you'll have me move a client 2 feet to the right or something, or um, he'll notice that he wants the whole image, but he wants to have it flopped, so I have to flip all the text and the logos and the background posters and things. So you don't do stuff like that?
What's that?
Oh, you don't do any type of photo manipulation like that?
I try not to. It is not my favorite thing in the world. I've done it on occasion, but I really try to avoid the work.
Yeah, I don't go on my way to hunt it down, but I like to keep this.
Mm-hmm.
This is a particularly good client. Whenever I'm slow, this client always has something for me consistently.
No, that's
So
cool.
that's
That's a
always
good
good.
client to have.
Now I know that Bill it will not be here tonight.
Will not? Is he asked for an invite?
Yeah, he has another event that he's going to tonight. I don't know if it's a. I know that there's a movie showing of Dune at some group in Seattle, but I also know that he's part of this political get-together, drink and chat, and complain about politics group. And I can't imagine anyone actually enjoying that, but he loves going to that group. So
Wait, what does the group do exactly? They just sit around and complain about
they
how
sit
bad
around
politics
and they
are?
talk about politics.
So they don't just complain about them. Do they have a specific political bent?
I don't think so.
Interesting.
I don't know if they're particularly right or left. I'm guessing they're probably to the left.
You would imagine in this area, we are pretty left-leaning on the West Coast.
So on Friday, um, one of my whiteboard clients calls me up and he asks if I'm available to do a storyboard on Saturday and to be available to fly to San Diego on either Thursday or Friday to do the shoot. And I was going to say no because, it's the Memorial Day weekend. My wife's a Fed. She gets the weekend off. We like to spend things like that together. But she had told me that she wanted to go into work that Saturday to get caught up. So I told the guy, okay, yeah, I can do this. I can do it on Saturday. And so I do the storyboard on Saturday, and then Saturday night when we're talking and going over with it, he tells me that he needs to have me fly in and do it on Monday.
Yesterday.
Yesterday. So I was kind of, oh my God.
So you drew a storyboard of you strangling this person.
Well, I spent Sunday working on my life-size pieces and practice drawing because you got to do that. And
Sure.
then I flew in, and I was. You would think he would have the studio ready and go, but no, he had another shoot with those guys in a different part of town that morning, so we didn't get started on it until the afternoon. I knew that was going to happen too. I was there till 8 o'clock. This client always underestimates how long one of these things takes. And overestimates my talents and resources and skills extraordinaire, but hey, we got the job done. And I can't complain about the money. The money's good.
Very good. Somebody? No?
So the product was a rangefinder for golfers.
Okay.
Yeah, you hold this thing up to your eye. It can tell you how far away the tee is, whether or not it's up or down a slope, and tell you how hard you need to hit the ball in order for it to get on the green.
We really do live in the future.
And apparently there's a new ruling by the Golf Association, and you can now use one of these things in a tournament, because beforehand they wouldn't use them in a tournament, but they would send their caddies out like the day before to scope out everything so they'd get all the numbers. But now you can use one of these things in a tournament. You just have to turn off the slope feature. So
I now know more about golf rangefinder than I ever knew.
and I learned all sorts of stuff in this gig, so just wanted to share. Oh, wow. I'll take myself off the big screen now, and somebody else can go up there.
Hey, Mark.
Yes, Patrick.
Can I ask, have you or have either you or Jim been tracking the kind of views on the previously recorded Epic Sketch Times?
You know, I really have. I should have, but I have not.
Okay.
It's been a fire and forget thing for me at this point. Although I actually promoted the thing tonight briefly, but that reminds me, I need to send out a viewer link.
I have another thing I've been doing with some people who are graphic facilitators who have been trying to. The goal of that particular group is to write a book within a year.
Was this the mastermind?
Yeah,
group?
the mastermind.
Yes.
And just like this group, it quickly formed with 3 to 4 core people that tend to show up regularly.
Yes, I tuned in to watch one of those, the last one you did, I believe.
Yeah, I accidentally invited everybody in on that one. Sorry about that. But a lot more people were interested than I thought. So, Stowe, how was the family getaway with the other families?
It was really incredible, surprisingly enough. It was one rental house and 23 people. And of those 23 people, 12 of them were children under the age of 12. But it was really great. I discovered a new board game that I absolutely adore, and I ate incredibly well. And I literally spent almost the entire weekend drinking scotch.
Nice.
If I was surrounded by that many children, I think I'd do the same thing.
You know what? The house was set up in a way that we never even saw them. It was designed specifically with children in mind. It had 2 indoor slides, a room devoted completely to Legos, a room filled with giant foam blocks, and then they had converted the 4-car garage into an indoor like gymnasium with balls and scooters and all kinds of stuff. All right, I just tweeted out a link that I included both of you in.
Oh, I just got that. I'll retweet it. And done.
Did you guys happen to see the trailer for Suicide Squad that came out tonight?
There's a new trailer. I saw.
There is a new trailer, and it is actually pretty fantastic. I hate to say it.
I have not seen the new trailer, so I'm very curious.
It is really, really good. And again, I am really upset that I am saying that.
Huh.
That you what?
I'm upset that I'm saying that. I had no desire to see that at all in any way, shape, or form. And then they release a fantastic trailer.
But you saw the other trailers. Why did this particular trailer?
This trailer hit all the right buttons. It was, that first Guardians of the Galaxy trailer with the Ooga Chaka song?
Yes.
Got you all jazzed up? It was very similar to that trailer. To the point that they even used a very recognizable song from our youth, Bohemian Rhapsody. Which I'm sure has absolutely nothing to do with the movie whatsoever.
Now, were those little tweaks that beeps I'm hearing people trying to get to you on the chat room?
Wait, what?
Were the little beeps I was hearing, were those people trying to get to you on the Google chat room?
I don't think so.
Because that was something I was finding out when I was doing Vine, is that people were trying to communicate with me, and because I was on two different screens and drawing away, I was not paying attention to the people that were trying to communicate with me.
That would be unfortunate, although I don't see any text or any comments.
So who's making that little beep sound?
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. That's probably coming. My phone is like near my computer.
Oh, okay, so that's like your Twitter exploding or something?
Well, I'm a pretty popular guy, you know, so
There you go.
Oh,
I I just put my phone on mute, so hopefully that takes care of that.
I was with my client and I was working at the storyboard, and something I had Twittered about like 3 days ago must have hit some sort of mailing list in Japan, because my phone just went nuts for like 5 minutes straight.
But
So I just got through watching a movie called A 100-Foot Journey, or the 100-Foot Journey, Steven Spielberg film.
it's a Steven Spielberg movie?
Yep. It was about this Indian family going to France and opening up a restaurant right across the street from a one-star Michelin restaurant.
That sounds thrilling.
Well, it was
I
in
mean, I guess they all can't be Suicide Squad.
I thought I should watch that on the airplane rather than the horror movie from the 70s called Rituals that I was planning on, because there was a little girl seated across the aisle from me, and I thought it'd be
That's
probably
not.
appreciated by the parents if I didn't have, you know.
Yeah, I would imagine so. So I take it then that you weren't at our freelancer Fandango on Monday.
No, matter of fact, I sent you a note saying that.
I was in the mountains.
Oh, so you were incommunicado. I
Very, very much was, yes.
I said sent you a note saying that I too was not going to be able to make it to the Fandango. So I was wondering if I did not send out a notice on the Tacoma listserv.
I did not send out any notice whatsoever. I wonder if it happened.
I wonder if anyone showed up and was deeply disappointed that nobody was there.
Right?
Were they even open?
I would imagine they were open. What restaurant closes for Martin Luther King Day?
Well, there was that one time when they were underneath construction, and me and Stan went down and had a pizza over at the Puget Sound Pizza.
Oh yeah, and so wait, where was that?
And we kind of debated whether or not we should always have pizza instead of donuts.
Uh,
But we figured it was your deal, so. And just because you weren't there that day.
I see it almost got hijacked away.
Nah, we were just having fun. I gotta admit, it was nice to have pizza with Stan.
Yeah, I do kind of completely skip lunch during Fandango days. Because I go right from it to teaching high school girls art.
So you know that thing I did for the chamber last week?
Uh-huh.
Well, the guy who does the University of Phoenix in Washington State saw it, and it turns out that he has a little pet um, nonprofit that he does work for,
Oh, that's cool.
and
What does that mean for you?
so he had the president of one of the nonprofits call me up, hoping that I would do some ideation illustrations at one of their events. And it's a pro bono thing, and typically I say no to pro bono stuff, but I want to get in good with this guy. Also, this is with a military related thing, so there's going to be a lot of people from the base there.
Oh, that's cool.
And I figure, hey, if people, and a lot of people don't understand what my ideation illustration is, and if I can show it off at this event what it is, then they can tell other people what it is, and make, because I'm trying to get more local work so I don't have to fly around as much.
Sure.
Not that I've done, I had a fairly slow year last year.
Yeah, I don't remember you traveling as much as you have in the past, that's for sure.
Oh, it was kind of a relief. I mean, the year previously, I did more traveling work-related than I had in a long time. Plus, I had a tremendous convention schedule. And I just got asked by Matt Youngmark to do Lilac City with him.
A what?
Lilac City is the Spokane convention.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I'd mentioned it to you last year. You said something about being interested, but I knew you'd totally forget about it, so I didn't bother even calling you.
Yep, that's exactly what happened.
Figured about the only way I could make it work is by going halves in with somebody, and Matt's always been a good person to do that with.
Yeah, sure. How have we never gotten him in the class?
Matt?
Yeah,
Well, for one thing, he's up in Seattle.
right.
And for another thing, he doesn't really consider himself much of a cartoonist. He considers himself more of a writer. I think he's a pretty good cartoonist, but
I would agree with that sentiment.
his conspiracy friends has very doesn't have very much of a readership.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he doesn't push it. I mean, he makes his money from the Choose Your Own Adventure books. I mean, he rakes it in. Those Choose Your Own Adventure books really hits a nerve with his. He knows his audience.
Huh.
And that right age group, his age group, that kind of grew up with those books.
Yeah, sure.
I never really got into those, and I guess there weren't as many around of them around when I was growing up. They came in like about 5 years after I was, I just wasn't the right age. My thing was I was always reading my brother Randy's books, and he was 5 years older than me. So his taste in comics became my taste in comics. His taste in books became my taste in books. Thankfully, he had pretty good taste in classical science fiction and stuff like Robert Heinlein, uh, Arthur C. Clarke, Dick. Um,
My wife is reading a Heinlein book I've never heard of right now, actually.
oh, which one is it?
It's called Friday.
Oh yeah, I've read Friday.
She said so far it's pretty brutal.
Yeah.
She was not expecting things to start that fast or to go that south so quickly.
I just got through reading a really nice graphic novel that was recommended to me by Michael Fitzgerald down at Destiny
Was it
City
Destiny
Comics.
Comics? What
Yeah,
was it?
it's called Oh Human Soul or something like that. It's about robots, artificial intelligence, um, personal identity,
Huh.
sexual identity, and has this interesting two-tone color treatment. Everything that's in the present tense in the book is all in this one blue color with various tints and tones on the blue color, and anything in the past is kind of this is the same treatment but kind of rose tinted.
Oh, that's clever.
Yeah, I thought that was very clever. And oh, you know, you probably know this artist. She's the one that does the illustrations for Kevin's writings for War is Boring. Kevin Lodell.
Yeah. That just reminds me I'm supposed to be getting back to him on something.
Oh, Human Star. That's it. I'm pretty sure that's the name of it. And it's a web comic, so you can see it online. But I like to support artists when I can, so did the Kickstarter thing. No, I didn't do the Kickstarter. It was a Kickstarter book, but Michael had it on his shelf, so
Cool.
I keep trying to tell him that I'm not a men and types type guy, but I like robot stuff. But then he turns around and tries to get me to says, "Oh, well, you should read this Vision stuff." I said, "No, that's the wrong universe, dude. I'm not the superhero. I'm not into that."
Yeah.
But then he does find something really good, like the graphic novel Dave.
Yes, I've read that.
Yeah, that was fun stuff. Apparently, there's a Dave 2 series.
Oh,
Yeah, there's a series that's being worked on. It's not in the trade yet, though. It's just in the what is that called when they're the thin books, the little
yeah.
one, just a regular, 24-page comic. I'm really not into collecting those.
You'd rather they be collected?
Yeah, I enjoy having them in a trade.
Yeah.
That way I can put them on my shelf, find them easily. If I put them in a comic box, I just tend not to pull them out again.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. When I buy a comic, it's usually to just read it, and then I don't save it in any way.
What about you, Patrick? You got a comic collection?
I do, but I so infrequently go to the comic store these days. I buy a lot of stuff online. I just recently got the latest nonfiction crime-based Rick Geary graphic novel called Murder at the Hollywood Hotel, and that was a Kickstarter. And I just got Alterna Comics If Anthology. They were having like a 10-year anniversary sale, so I picked that up. And again, this is delivered to my doorstep. So I don't collect any ongoing titles at the moment.
Yeah, I had the Marvel subscription service for a good couple of years, and to be honest, I really enjoyed that. But never re-upped on it. Let it lapse, and I don't think I've actually read a comic book since then. Now it's mostly just online stuff.
When we were meeting at the Comic Book Inc.,
Yeah, that definitely helped my.
I was spending like $50 a month on comics. Just really enjoying myself. Krista and I came very close to making an offer on that store.
Oh, really?
Well, Krista has been very bored with her job. She's been saving money like a mad beaver, and but we didn't want to buy the brand Comic Book Inc. But you couldn't ask for a better location for a comic book store. I mean, right next to the movie theater.
Well, and not only that, nothing has gone in there since, which is insane.
And but I know how much John was asking for it because I asked him, and I didn't want to pay that much, but I also didn't start trying to negotiate anything because I didn't want him to raise up his hopes. I figured, But my wife and I, we were discussing it strongly for a couple of days before we decided that maybe we shouldn't do something on a whim.
Yeah, they dominated the rest of the good time.
Well, Also, I knew nothing. I'm not. Again, I'm not into either of the universes very much. I'm not very well versed in the main product line, and I think that you would have to be. And
Or you just hire people who are, I guess.
that
There
was
was,
her, that was
there
her
was,
argument. Yeah. She said I could draw just as easily at the comic book store as here.
right. There was a comic book store in Savannah, Georgia, when I went to SCAD for comic books. The only real comic book store in the area, and that guy was the most, just the worst public persona, didn't care about customers. Oh, it was the worst store. And the fact that he had, like, college kids going to school to learn comic books through him, and that was their only comic book dealer. It was sad.
Do you
I was
think?
very happy when I found John in Comic Book Inc.
Do you think that store is still in business?
I would imagine it is, yes.
Really? Because I know a lot of small comic book stores have gone out of business.
Yep. No, knowing this guy, he's probably still around somewhere.
Yeah, I was really sad when John's stores closed. I was really sad when Chuck closed his store. And in case you didn't know, Patrick, in Puyallup there used to be another comic book store called um, Comic Evolution, and it was a. It's amazing how a store will really take on the persona of the main owner.
Hmm.
Like Chuck was very much into horror and heavy metal, and so his books tend to be more along the line of H.P. Lovecraft, like Lock and Key type stuff.
Well, I work in Center City, Philadelphia, and there's only one comic shop in kind of Center City, and they have tons and tons of comics to choose from, but nothing like they play it so strictly to what people order from them pre-order that like you can't find anything real interesting there because no one there will order anything interesting to like try it out, see if it'll
Yeah, I don't
sell.
think the market is big enough anymore, retail-wise, for that, you know?
Yeah.
That's, again, why I read most of my stuff online. I hate to say that, but you know where I go to get my comics nowadays? Ugh, I hate myself just for saying it.
What?
The library.
Huh.
Don't you pick up anything down at Destiny City?
I used to, but the books that I were collecting were limited series. So once they were over, I was pretty much over. And I haven't really been in there enough to pick something new out. Um, a friend of mine is an artist for DC and Marvel, and I was picking up his book when he was doing a Batman book. But since then, I've really kind of just not. Picked anything up. So how close are you to being done with this series, Mark?
Oh,
You've got to be close, don't you?
I'm pretty close. I've got like 4 figures like this one that are partially colored, and I was getting them done once a day, but then I started getting busy again, and put it on the back burner. And I'm still trying to decide. I haven't done the background coloring on them yet. I need to choose my 4 backgrounds and just start filling them in. I haven't decided which ones will go out. I think I'll just randomly pick a bunch and then just assign them face values.
Mm-hmm.
I think for this one, this is from Creepshow.
Yeah, there's the thing in the box. Right?
Right. And it was basically this white hairy ape thing. I think I'm going to use some blues in the hairs to kind of give the hairs a little bit more highlight. All I have in there right now is a little bit of tone. And I think my tint is a little too, knock that back a little bit. Oh, I want to show you one of these. I had so much fun coloring it. I'll find it, pull it up. But yeah, I've been working on this for like 2 years now. I got to put it to bed.
I would agree with you. Yes.
Well, no, it's been 18 months.
Huh?
Well, I started on it not this October, but last October.
Oh, geez.
So it's been 14 months. But I've also been doing the aliens at the same time. So
So,
let's see. And I just haven't been doing anything like blended colors. That takes too long, so I've been just staying with matte fills. So I'll put this one up on the main screen. There we go. This is from a movie called The Monster That Challenged the World.
God, that looks like a skull just smooshed into a caterpillar. That could not. Wait, is that the actual colors of the thing in the movie?
Well, it's from a black and white film, but what I
Ah,
could tell from the colorized photos and from the movie posters, I think these are as close to the colors as possible. It's actually a giant rampaging mollusk.
oh, who what?
It's a mollusk.
It's got a shell.
It's got a shell.
Huh.
So basically, this giant rampaging sea sea snail that keeps getting hundreds of them that keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So,
That sounds gross. How are the effects? My guess is
actually, in the day, this was an extremely popular movie. It had some pretty good jumps to it too. I loved it as a kid. I thought it was a great movie. So, had these big giant lantern eyes. Anyway, I wanted to share that. Gentlemen, I'm going to say good night.
Wow, is it that time already?
It's getting close.
All right. Well, good night.
I know.
Until next week.
My wife has missed me. I've been working and gone and just got home today, so I think I'll go enjoy her, watch some anime.
All right. Have a good time.
See you, Mark.
Good night, Patrick. Good night, Sal.
Good night.
So I don't know if I heard, Jim. What are you working on tonight? This is another one of your cards.
You know what? I'm starting the superhero campaign thing that I was talking about last week tomorrow. So I'm just doing one more character for it. Although here, I do have something to show. I'm working on a card game with somebody
Nice.
that they're calling Dragon Slay. And there is the back of one of the cards.
Cool.
Yeah, it's actually a math game. It's a very clever mechanic. I like it a lot. But so I've started the process of mocking up all the card backs and stuff. So that's the actual project I should be working on tonight, and instead I'm doing this. I'm glad there is no video record of me slacking off in any way.
That was the concern with this whole, recording of Epic Sketch Time. It's like, should I be concerned about what I'm saying in these
I've pretty much
sessions?
been avoiding actual work. Because on occasion I actually do, like I record working on the comic for my patron viewers from time to time. So I don't want to work on that.
Sure.
I feel like I'm actually taking things I could be giving away to people who pay me every month.
Sure.
So instead, I'm drawing some of this stuff, which is absolutely not unheard of. But that's cool that you did a retreat reward thing, and it worked out for you. I do enjoy those drawings.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like every once in a while when I just feel like sketching, I'll just shout out to the world on Twitter, say, "Here, somebody tell me to sketch something."
Yeah,
And some
that's
of
where I
the
started the retreat rewards.
oh, okay,
That's exactly what I was doing. I think I was calling them like lunchtime something or others. And I'm like, man, I could use this to actually promote my comic instead. So boom.
nice.
Although now I think it takes me longer to actually do the retreat rewards. Because I used to be able to bust them out that same week. And now I'm about 2 weeks deep. Well, it's been about an hour. Do you want to call it? We've already lost one. Are you done your xenomorph drawing?
I'm not officially done, but close enough for government work. So
All right. Well, cool. Well,
it's
then
been
I'm
a
going to
pleasure
call
as
it.
always.
And hopefully we had a viewer or two, and hopefully we get some more once it goes up on YouTube. But I will see you next week.
Have a good one.
All right, you too.